would affect the NFL. We'll call this quarterback dominoes. So let's play dominoes. If Deshaun Watson sticks to his word, I'm going to demand to be traded. They would have to trade him. So who would acquire him? We're going to go with the Jets acquire Deshaun Watson. They need a star. Deshaun Watson has said he would waive his no-trade contract clause because Robert Saleh is a coach he wanted. The Jets have the third most cap space. They can make it fit. And the Jets also have multiple first-round picks to give to the Texans. So we start with that. Deshaun Watson goes to the team he wants, the New York Jets. So if he ends up in New York, where does Sam Darnold go? We project it's Washington. Okay, you're not going to win that division with Alex Smith. There's questions about his health. They have a very good defense. Also, they have an extra third-round pick in the upcoming draft because of the Trent Williams move to the Niners. So they have an extra pick. They need a young quarterback to replace Dwayne Haskins. In that division, Daniel Jones can run, Dak can run, Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts can move. You need an athlete. With that defense, boom, Sam Darnold to the Washington football team. Texans, they'll have to replace Watson. What do? They draft Zach Wilson, 11-1 BYU, 33 touchdowns, 3 picks. Now, Houston's one of 3 teams without a first-round pick. They need one. They get one. He's a playmaker. Deshaun Watson led the NFL in passing yards this season. So you're not going to replace him with that offensive line with a non-athlete. Zach Wilson, according to every scout that's been recorded recently, is the number 2 pick over Justin Fields. That's what they believe. So Matthew Stafford is also asked to be released from the Lions. We believe he'd go to the Colts. He's expensive, but not that expensive. It would be the best offensive line and defense he's ever had. The Colts do have the cap space, second most in the NFL, and they need a quarterback. Jacob Eason, drafted him last year, all they have. Lions now would need to replace Matt Stafford. Our guess, they draft Justin Fields. Detroit's Dan Campbell just named Anthony Lynn offensive coordinator. He just dealt with a rookie quarterback, Justin Herbert. Matt Stafford and the Lions amicably have decided to separate. We think it's right. By the way, when Dan Campbell was the coach of the Dolphins, that year he played Ryan Tannehill. They drafted him, and he played him. He's dealt with rookie quarterbacks. What are the 49ers going to do? I think they're going to keep Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle Shanahan is 7-26 in games Garoppolo hasn't started. I still like him. I think he's currently the best option. I think they could draft a quarterback later. But the reality is there's a lot of good players returning from injury. George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Dee Ford, Javon Kinlaw. This is a really good football team that wins almost all its games when Jimmy G is starting. What are the Falcons going to do? I think they keep Matt Ryan. Arthur Smith is the new coach. He's got that Kyle Shanahan system. Matt Ryan flourished under that system several years ago. I think Matt Ryan had a good year. He is not the problem of the organization. And if you look at the cap numbers, it is punitive if they move off him for the next 2 years. I think Atlanta's current problem is their roster and edge rushers, corners, not Matt Ryan. I think they keep him. What do the Panthers do now with the later pick in the draft? I think they go get Trey Lance. He's the kid that played 1 game this year from North Dakota. He's got great stuff on YouTube. Perfect situation. Christian McCaffrey comes back. Matt Rule's an offensive coach. They have some nice receivers. What he needs is time. He just has played 1 football game in about a year and a half. Very exciting player. Unlike Bridgewater, he moves around a lot. Big, strong kid moves around a lot. But is there a better guy in the league to play behind than an Alex Smith or a Teddy Bridgewater? My answer is no. What do the Cowboys do? I think they keep Dak Prescott. By the way, the Dallas Cowboys, if you look, have won the NFC East in 2 of his 4 seasons. Though they didn't win games early with Mike McCarthy, they were setting the world on fire statistically. I also think there are intangible leadership qualities. Dak Prescott feels like, to me, the face of the franchise. The offensive line's getting old. You're going to need somebody as you rebuild that that's a fairly durable, sturdy, mobile athlete. That's Dak Prescott. I worry about his salary but I actually think Dak works with Dallas. They need a guy that can take hits, a guy that can move, and a grown-up. Check, check, check. He'll stay there. Finally, Patriots. According to mock drafts, they draft Mac Jones, Alabama quarterback. Odd considering they need an athlete at quarterback more than ever. Belichick, good friends with Saban. He selected an Alabama player in 4 of his last 6 drafts. He is the prototypical go back to Tom Brady style. Josh McDaniels is familiar with that. It's too bad he can't bring along several of the Alabama wide receivers. But that's our quarterback domino, starting with Deshaun Watson going to the Jets. Washington has an extra third, Sam Darnold. Texans draft Zach Wilson. Colts get Stafford. Lions go young. Niners, Falcons keep their guys. Panthers draft the future. Cowboys stick with Dak. And Mac Jones is a Patriot. At least that's what Mel Kiper says today. There you go. There you go. The kid from North Dakota is interesting because I've only seen about 15 to 20 plays from him. They're great. He looks great on tape. Now, it could be, sometimes guys look great in snippets, but you don't watch a series of games, so I have no idea how good he is.
Yeah, he has to go to a situation he can.
But I saw Zach Wilson. I think I said this on the air once. 2 years ago, he was a freshman, and I was watching a Washington Husky game. They were in Provo, I think. He was skinny, but I watched him, and he made a throw up the sideline, and I was like, for like 190 pounds, like that was an NFL throw. And then I watch 2 BYU games a year, and he's good, but it's amazing. I talked to Tom House off the air today, and he's like very driven, wants to get better.
Scouts love him. 33
touchdowns, 3 picks. He looks like a kid kind of ready to play.
You should actually like him more.
Why?
Because you like guys that go to smaller schools that have to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, he didn't have a ton of NFL receivers. Good video. Upgrade wiper blades to Michelin Endurance XT silicone wiper blades. Winners here, even in California. It's raining all week and windy. Only available at Walmart. Last 2 times longer than other blades. Joy Taylor, John Goulet, thanks so much. Aaron Rodgers talk today. I'm here for it. We'll see you tomorrow. It's The Herd.
This is the Herd Line News.
Man, Silver just took down the Texans.
Well, I mean, come on. It's
That's just a disaster. It's a disaster.
It's just not good enough. It feels like Trump and the pillow guy. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Literally Jack Easter being the owner.
No, it's complete nonsense. It's nonsense. I mean, we talk about all the time people getting opportunities that deserve them. And, I mean, this guy's running, what is he, like the VP of personnel? Or football operations?
Team pastor to running an organization. Feels like a leap to me.
Legitimately, I would never take this job because I am completely unqualified for it, but I am more qualified for it than he is.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Your brother was a Hall of Famer and you love football and you know it.
I also pray. So that makes me even more qualified.
Glad somebody does here.
So Aaron Rodgers raised some eyebrows when he said his future is uncertain with the Bucs, as we just talked about. Packers CEO Mark Murphy was asked about those comments, and he made it very clear Rodgers is not going anywhere.
There's no way in heck that Aaron is not going to be on the Packers. I mean, he's going to be the MVP of the league. Might have had his best year ever. He's our unquestioned leader, and, we're not idiots.
Well, there is a report that he's looking for a new contract.
All right, give him a new contract.
So he's due to make $22.35 million in 2021, $25.5 in 2022, and $25.5 in 2023. So he's 5th in average in new money value behind Mahomes, Watson, Russell Wilson, and Roethlisberger.
Well, tweak his contract. Give him some more money. Throw him a $10 million bone.
He makes the same as Goff.
Well, I mean,
I don't get too caught up in the money. Like, you have a long-term contract. Eventually, you're going to make the same as somebody else who has a newer contract that was paid according to the new values and what the market says. But if his cap is in excess of $37 million, but a new contract could reduce that. So that could be part of it, too. He also was on with Pat McAfee, and he downplayed speculation about his post-game comments. Says, I don't think there's any reason that I wouldn't be back, but there's not many absolutes in this business. So he said he gave his real answer was because it's a slow week. It's not a slow week, Aaron. It's the busiest time of the year.
Yeah, and Aaron, by the way, did McAfee ask him tough questions?
I did not watch the interview because we're
Hey, McAfee, tough questions.
It's not a slow week. It's literally.
I want to get to see if McAfee pressed him like I pressed Mike Silver.
Well, I mean,
journalism on this show.
He didn't really back off of it with that comment. I don't think there's any reason I wouldn't be back, but there's no absolute.
Well, are we supposed to not react to Aaron Rodgers' comments after the game? He was very tenuous and fuzzy.
Of course we are. We're not being silly. Everything he said deserved being reacted to. If he was like, we're going to run it back next year, we just got to be better, then we wouldn't even be paying attention to it.
If Brady would have lost and said the exact same thing, I'd spend the last 2 days on Brady.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
If Mahomes lost and said, I don't know my future here, we'd spend the last 2 days on Mahomes.
I mean, it's a testament to how important Aaron Rodgers is to the league. It's not a ridiculous thing that we're not overreacting, that we are reacting to what he said.
I hope McAfee didn't do fluff questions.
I do think that he is going to be back because that would be a massive change. But also, I think what LeVar Arrington said earlier is very true as well. There's a new precedent set for going to, if you're a legend status, going to a new organization.
Go in now. A lot.
Tom Brady took them from 7 wins to the Super Bowl.
Got to
say whatever you want about the Bucs defense when they were incredible and deserve a lot of credit, but Tom Brady's a difference.
If I had $10,000